Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. Now, Cebu City is taking stronger action in the fight against plastic waste under under leadership of Mayor Nestor Archival. The City Hall has rolled out a new policy urging employees and visitors to bring their own reusable tumblers, reducing dependence on single-use plastic bottles. Now, to learn more about this initiative, we're joined via Zoom by Cebu City Mayor Nestor Archival. Maayong buntag, Mayor. Thank you so much for joining us here on a beautiful day.
May buntag, Paulo, may buntag sa mga taong nagtanaw. To all the listeners and the viewers of your station.
Mayor, thank you so much for joining us once again. Simulan po natin sa ideation, yung simula po ng Bring Your Own Tumbler. Of course, may bagong policy sa Cebu City Hall with regard to yung plastic waste and plastic use. Can you please describe to us kung ano nga ba ang policy ng City Hall?
Okay, well, it should be understood to everyone, especially in the City Hall, that every bottle that we are going to eliminate from City Hall, that will bring a big advantage to the city. Now, it is the protection of the environment. And everybody should realize that the environment is all life. Mm-hmm. Now, we need to protect life. So by eliminating one plastic bottle at a time, we are helping the environment. So that's why the first step that I made is that all the department heads should have its own tumbler. Mm-hmm. Because every time we have a meeting, there are about 25 department heads. Our personnel will give each of the personnel one bottle. Mm-hmm. The moment they leave about 25 bottles. The next meeting, you have another 20 or 50. And in one day, in a meeting, it reached about 200 to 250 bottles. Mm-hmm. So what I did is to ask them that we are going to start. This is it is a responsible act of leadership. So if our people will see that we're doing this, it will be very sure that everybody will follow. And from City Hall, it goes down to the barangay captains, to the barangay councilors, then to the constituents as a whole. Mm-hmm.
Mayor, if I'm not mistaken, nagsimula yung policy nito start of the month, I believe, start of July. When we talk about yung adapting period in terms of making sure na wala ng single-use plastics or plastic bottles sa City Hall, how has the administration adapted to that? Siyempre, it's a bit of a change in pati rin sa suppliers and making sure that lahat mga functions po ninyo are actually still well hydrated. What adjustments did the administration actually have to make sure na this is enforceable sa City Hall?
Paolo, it should be noted that it should be in phasing. Mm-hmm. The first phase would be the department heads within the next 4 weeks, and later it will be going down to the section heads, and afterwards all the employees. We have about 7,000 employees in the City Hall. And within the 100 days, we hope that everybody should have its own tumbler.
What are the plans? Mm-hmm. Mayor, sorry, I just wanted to ask again, what are the plans to expand this beyond City Hall? Of course, maganda yung plano na mention niyo po, starting it with the department heads and then trickling it down to the rest of the members of City Hall. Pero beyond City Hall, how do you think this policy can actually spread?
Okay. The moment we will have to complete this within the next 100 days, we will now going to the schools. And it is I believe that the school administration will actually help us and will just follow what we're doing. Mm.
Sir, the DANR actually did mention that they do support yung mga efforts po ninyo. Especially, may balita po ngayon, may mga ulat na may microplastics sa Tanyon Strait. Of course, there are environmental concerns that your LGU in particular has to address. How has your administration started or at least planned to start addressing yung mga environmental concerns po nito?
No, again, it is one battle at a time. Mm-hmm. So the moment we can explain, and I believe that the people in City Hall can understand. What is very important is for them to understand so that they would follow. There are initiatives that will just impose without people understanding. So the most important thing here is that the people in City Hall could understand what we're doing, that eliminating one bottle at a time is very important to us. It's very important in taking care of the environment. Now, the environment is basically life. And if and without environment, then of course we're not taking the environment, we're not taking life. So in this case, we need to let them understand again, in the first place in the city hall, we let them understand that taking care of the environment is very important. And eliminating plastic, one plastic at a time in city hall, then eventually we will be going to the schools, we will be going to the barangays, and hopefully, in the next 6 months, we can probably have about 90% people will not be using bottled or single-use plastic in Cebu City.
Mayor, gaano ka-importante yung upcycling din? Because we are now showing a bit of material a while ago from the Archival House, House Close to Nature po, yung nakasulat sa shirt. And they are you're upcycling yung mga plastic bottles. Is that also a step that you feel that can be taken eventually? Sabi mo nga, step by step dapat yung process of trying to eliminate yung single-use plastics. But then, is upcycling part of yung mga plano po ninyo in the pipeline?
That's correct. So this is parallel. We're slowly eliminating plastics, first in City Hall, in the schools, in the barangays. But you cannot eliminate it right away. So what is very important, if there are some waste plastic, we will not be throwing them to the landfill, but we're going to use this into other use, and we call this as upcycling. And in my case, in my house, I'm using plastics in order to grow plants. So again, this is upcycling.
Mayor, let's talk about mga formal policies and ordinances that are in the pipeline to address environmental issues sa Cebu City. Are there any in the works that we can expect in the future to make all of these efforts more mandatory for the LGU?
Now, we have this ordinance already that all waste should be segregated.
Okay.
So we have what we call as the biodegradable. We call that as here in Bisaya as malata, and you have the recyclables. So again, since we have that laws already in place, what is very important right now for the city is to implement them, because we have so many environmental laws here in Cebu, but I realize that it's not being implemented well. So again, the challenge now is how to implement them strictly. So there is a way. Another way is that we have a program here in the city in cooperation with JICA and SM. And one of the most difficult is the plastics, because the single-use plastics are the ones that being thrown anywhere. So that's why we launched this project in one of the barangay as a pilot project, that all the plastics, all kind of plastics are being put into one receptacle and being processed. And this, after being processed and built, this would be delivered to a cement factory that would be used as fuel. So hopefully, we have started it for the last 2 weeks. And in Barangay Luz, they have 10 tons of garbage per day. And right now, after 2 weeks, they were able to eliminate 3 tons of plastics per day. And this is something for me. This is a successful one, and hopefully, if the model in Barangay Luz would be successful, and I think it is very successful, it will now trickle down to each and every barangay. And in that case, it's not only advocacy, but this advocacy will have a financial gain to the constituents. So for me, it's not good only to tell them that, look, we need to segregate. But if you're going to tell them you need to segregate because there's money in waste, then they will be more inspired to help.
Mayor Nestor, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but thank you so much for sharing more about your efforts to curb single-use plastic use and, of course, addressing the solid waste management situation as well in Cebu City. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much, and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much.